Okay, so now I'm going to be talking about second grade math for Thursday, L106.2, converting inches to feet and inches. So there's two worksheets, one of which your second grader would have either a dolphin or a jellyfish. On the front of both, it says draw lines through each shape to show symmetry. And a quick reminder, symmetry means one half is going to be the exact same shape and size as the other half. So they can draw lines here or there or there. And so they pretty much they should remember how to do that. They might need a quick reminder that, you can't just do something like that. Why is that? Because this half is definitely not the same as that. And so it's not even going to be half. And then the review, writing the number for each Roman numeral. In the last video, I said that these were going to be out of order, and guess what? They are. And so this is where they now just need to start thinking, okay, what number is that? They think it through. 10, and then we have, this number comes before the x. Oh, that's 9, so 10 and 9 makes what? And then here they write the Roman numeral for it. Now, on the back, I'm going to just talk about the back side of the dolphin first, because the kiddos that understood this, they don't need me to explain all of it because it's intense. So here it says, write how many inches in the boxes, finish the sentences. Rebecca is blank inches tall. Put in however many inches she wants. She is blank feet and blank inches tall. So they're going to put a number of inches in there, and they're breaking it up into how many feet and inches, and I provided these to help them if they needed them. But I've noticed some of the kids that on the pre-test got this part right, they may not even need this part. They may be able to just go, I'm going to do 46 inches, and they may already know how many is feet and inches. So that's a pretty quick overview of that. Now, if your kiddo has a jellyfish on the back, it looks like this. Today's lesson is a little intense, and the Abeka program actually has us teaching it earlier in the school year, but I actually moved it towards the end just because I didn't want to gloss over it, and based on experience, this was really hard for them to understand. So I wanted them to already know about measurement first. I wanted them to already understand feet and inches and how many inches are in a feet before I even touched this. So now we're at this point, and so I have this worksheet to kind of start us off. And so this is what I would have on the board, something like this. Leanne is 41 inches tall. She's blank feet and blank inches tall. And at first it might look overwhelming, and we might think, well, how on earth am I going to figure that out? But if we break it down step by step, it's really not as hard as we think it is, okay? So just like any word problem, we read it. Now we're going to underline important information. She is 41 inches tall. And now, and we would, for story problems, the next step is to draw out the problem. But for something like this, we actually don't need to draw it out. We're going to write our equations to help us out. So first off, she's 41 inches, okay? How many inches are in a foot? They should say 12. So then they're going to write 12. At this point, they now know how to line up numbers, and I love Abeka, but in the curriculum, when this is introduced, they haven't even learned how to line up numbers yet. It was a nightmare. So here, it's lined up. Okay, so now all we need to do is start the process of breaking down the next step. Okay, we look at the symbol, minus. Hold up one finger, take away 2. Oop, can't do it. We're going to borrow from our neighbor. And how much is our neighbor going to have left? 11 minus 2 is 9. 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay? And we are going to do this same step over and over again. Okay? How many feet or how many inches are in a foot? 12. Okay? So we're going to be subtracting 12. Subtract 12, subtract 12, subtract 12. Okay? Until down here is 12 or less, and I will show that. So subtract, 9 minus 2 is 7, 2 minus 1 is 1. So I'm going to keep going. Is 17 less than 12? Nope. Okay, so we're going to do it again. 17 minus 12. Okay, subtract. 7 minus 2 is 5, 1 minus 1 is 0, and we never start a number off with 0. Okay, is this number 12 or less? Yes. Now we're done doing this part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to circle all of my 12s. How many inches are in a foot? 12. So each of these 12s represent 1 foot. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3. So far we know she's 3 feet. And the leftover number is how many inches she is. Okay, if we come, let's say that we did all this and whatnot, and this number was actually a 12, then you would count that in as a foot, okay, because you circle all the 12s. 1, 2, 3, 4. She is 4 feet and 0 inches tall. Okay, so then I wanted to include the example of the first worksheet for work that's really tough like this. A lot of times I give them their own problems in a page protector and have them work it out on their own with different numbers so they can't look off of each other's work. And then that's their ticket back to their table is when they get it correctly, or get it correct, I mean, and then they can work on their worksheet on their own. But for this, I wanted to have an example of this so I could go over it again. So, and the nice thing about this worksheet is that I have the steps of breaking it down by feet on here for them. So I kind of give them a hint, but that's about as much of a hint as they're going to get. So Rebecca is 32 inches tall. She is blank feet and blank inches tall. Okay, we read the story problem. Now we're going to underline the important information, 32 inches. Okay, so now we need to figure out she is blank feet and blank inches tall. And guess what? 32 is already on here. How many inches are in a foot? 12. Okay, looks like we're going to be subtracting. 2 minus 2 is 0. 3 minus 1 is 2. So now I'm going to do this again. 20. How many inches are in a foot? 12. Subtract. Cannot do 0 minus 2, so I'm going to borrow from a neighbor. 10 minus 2 is 8. Is 8 smaller than 12? Yep, sure is. All right, so we're done with subtracting. Now I'm going to circle all the 12s. Okay, so how many 12s did I circle? 2. So she is 2 feet tall, and the number that's left over is inches. She is 8 inches tall. So my kiddos, a lot of times with something that's tough like this, my kiddos are really honest with me. Sometimes they'll look at me and go, I still don't understand it. And then I'll do several more problems until the the look of bewilderment is gone. And sometimes it honestly just takes having them write it on the whiteboard for them to figure it out. A lot of the kids, you can talk to them till you're blue in the face, and they're not going to get it until they actually start writing it on their own, and then it clicks. So anyway, there's a video that shows that. And so the first one is Rebecca is 32 inches tall. Ricardo is 72 inches tall. Their pet horse, Josh, is 81 inches tall. And if you notice here, I've kind of broken down the measurements too. So I went from writing out feet and inches to the abbreviation feet and inches to the marks feet and inches, just so they can start to recognize and start to understand, oh yeah, that means feet, that means inches. So I'm kind of tricking them into having a little bit more of a lesson plan in there. So anyway, that's second grade math.